And I'm Chris with Bama Law, and we're back. We're talking with Clint about the horrors of Alabama domestic court, or divorce court, as everybody more colloquially knows it as. How you doing tonight?
I'm hanging in there, man.
Trying to, at least. It's not easy. I know it sucks,
Yeah,
especially talking about this crap. People don't realize. Well, I don't think it. Well, I'm hoping people that watch it have been through it and at least have some sympathy.
I think that it's more important for the people who have not been through it to understand what's going on in our courts because, these local judges and the local elections and the local politicians and the local everybody, like, you don't know what's going on in there until you've been through it.
They should. Unfortunately, they don't.
Yeah. And so just being able to share it out loud.
It's cathartic.
Yeah. I mean, cathartic, but also, the news doesn't cover this stuff. But you see it all over social media. I mean, people are getting screwed left, right, and center all over the place
constantly,
and nobody's doing their job to hold people accountable. And that's I think that's what, ultimately that's what I'm after in the long term. My situation with the kids is what it is. I mean, they're completely alienated from me, and
which people don't realize, but that's actually you can get charged. You can catch charged in Alabama for parental alienation.
Yeah,
or at least in divorce court. I say a divorce court charge, which is a contempt. It's not fun. Not a good day.
Yeah, if you actually have a judge who will actually do their job.
Yeah, no, it's. I was lucky where I practiced in Calhoun, and I'm not going to say who it was, but people can figure it out. But she's retired now, so at least I think she is. She definitely didn't put up with it. I mean, I had clients both sides, that did the alienation and were alienated, and luckily, sometimes the hammer of Thor would come down, and it's like, well, I knew that was coming. You should have not been an asshole. I don't,
right.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you tell them before they go in. It's like, dude, you can't make your kid alienate the parent. It's the I have to win attitude.
Yeah.
It's I gotta win. I'm gonna win. I gotta win. I gotta win. And it's like, dude, there's nobody wins in a divorce. I mean, they really don't.
No, my kids have lost literally everyone in their lives, except for the people who mom can control and manipulate.
Hey, Brooklyn, how are you? Sorry, I'm doing there's a chat. Yeah, somebody
cool.
popped in. So yeah, sorry, go ahead and finish what you were saying.
But yeah, they have no real contact with me. They've got a stepmom who they loved. They've got step siblings. My parents, they don't ever see anymore. It just, the whole. So, and of course, we talked last episode about how they lost their pawpaw.
Yeah.
But they have lost literally everyone in their lives.
How was that handled by the court? Did that happen during the court case, or because I met you at the end of your case?
Yeah. So that was ongoing. That was actually one of my triggers for trying to get custody of my kids, is when they started that stuff with him. Because I was like, this is just a bad environment for them to be in, and I got to get them out of there. And it went ongoing. That case, of course, went to trial because Attorney Deborah Gregory has to take everything to trial. Nothing can settle.
Like literally everything? Because that was I had a reason for. I was such an asshole, but I did criminal, and so. If you have a prosecutor, whether they're trying to settle a case or not, if you have a judge that's an idiot, which there's a lot, and it's like, okay, look, I mean, I'm trying to get a plea done. It's a 5-year offer, maybe a 5-year split too. And I'm like, okay, well, how about make it a 3 split 13 months or something? Just give them the minimum. No. I'm like, okay, set it for trial. And it got to the point where it was like, okay, here's your offer. I'm like, nope, set it for trial. And so I think on 1 month, I think I had like 80 some odd cases that were just docketed set for trial. But I mean, at some point you do get offers, and I didn't take them to trial, but you're right. There's a lot of lawyers that, I mean, that's all they do. It's like everything's got to go to trial because they get paid. How much? Go ahead.
Exactly. And we talked about cost. If these attorneys encourage their clients to do the right thing and settle, then they're only making, $3,000-$4,000 per case.
Still a pretty good payout.
Yeah, but Chris, if they can get their clients riled up, if they can make things contentious, if they can make things worse, then it ends up being a $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 paycheck.
I'm sorry, how much? I'm in the wrong damn business. How much?
Yeah. Well, if you want to be greedy and destroy children's lives, you can make $60,000 to $70,000 per case easy.
I don't think I've ever heard of any. Really? I was really undercharging to that degree. Jesus Christ. God, man. I was doing like 40 hours a year pro bono.
Dude, I had one of Deborah Gregory's.
I'm sorry. Can you see the screen?
I can.
I have 4 kids. This is Brooklyn. Divorced 12 years. The mom moved out of state with the kids. 42. What?
Wow.
What state is that, Brooklyn? If you can tell us. I mean, it's 4 kids. I get it. It's like, I mean, if it's Alabama, that's getting up there, but it's not the highest I've seen. I mean, there's actually a app. I think it's still on the App Store. I don't know who did it. Bless their heart. I mean, and I don't mean that as an insult. I mean, bless their heart, because I don't know how to do it. No. I think it's child support, Alabama child support. Let me see if I still. Yep, I still got it. Oh shoot, I got to re-download it. I'll download it and pull it up. New York. God. So many crickets. 40.
Ouch.
Okay. Oh, let me see. I'll see if I can't get her. Do you mind splitting the time? Get her on. I'm interested to hear. $4,200 a month. Holy! How much were you paying?
How much am I paying?
What was your child support order for?
Oh, I'm like at 1133. I think is the number.
That's not terrible. Yeah, it's not. How many kids?
4.
Yeah, that's pretty. Was that the court's actual order, or was that an agreement?
That was the court's actual order, and I'm still actually overpaying based on her income.
Oh God, don't get me started on the income. Oh dear God, that's a.
So I'm still overpaying in child support.
I think we showed that the CS42. I mean, it looks straightforward, but let me see if I can't pull this up, because I'm gonna send her a link. Because I 40. Damn. Oh, sorry, Brooklyn. I apologize. 4,200. You know what's funny is that women get nailed on it too. I had ladies getting. I mean, now none of them went to jail. Nobody ever went to jail. That was a girl. In fact, let me rephrase that. Only young black men. I mean, I had a lot of contempts, but that was the only people that went to jail. Period.
Wow.
And it was so bad in Jefferson County that I stayed away because they would come in. Of course, they're in Prison Orange, the divorce court, and I can remember I was in law school. It was my first year, and I was just watching. It was in the Bessemer circuit. Now that I think about it, and there must have been 10 or 12 dudes come in. I mean, there were some white guys in there too, but it was mostly young black men. And the judge would be like, "You owe, I don't know, $5,700 in back support." And the guy's like, "Yeah, I can't. I'm in jail. He's like, "Well, how long have you been in?" It's like, I would be like, "Well, you wrote the order. I mean, you don't know, It's like,
right.
in like 6 weeks. I mean,
yeah.
Well, how much can you pay? None. And it becomes this racket of how much can your family get to pay?
Right.
I get having it, but how long are you going to keep them in prison?
Well, yeah,
It was just a circulating,
when a
revolving
judge
door.
can write an order that holds a third party responsible for my child support, then they get to ask that question.
That's a problem. That is a big issue.
You know,
Big.
if I can't pay and they start asking other people for money,
Right.
then that's a huge issue.
Is that did they? Jesus. So you're 1133 a month, 4 kids. How much is your ex making?
I don't know exactly. I mean, she's an RN. She does pretty good. Works a lot of overtime, and I don't know. I don't care.
Well, I mean, it does make a difference. Well, we'll get to the end of your case, and holy God, I mean, I'm not paying. I think I'm. Let me think. I think I'm. Well, hang on a second. I had a settlement. The attorney is so incompetent down there in Clanton that I don't even think my ex knew. Well, she knew of the settlement, and then the lady reneged like 4 months later after I wrote it. So I think I'm 6 months behind, but we were supposed to be cleared. I mean, it was supposed to be settled. Yeah. Now I've got to go to trial. Not in divorce court, it's a civil court. I'm not paying for a child molester. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Who's in prison?
Right. What do you actually support?
Screw yourself. Right. And because I have Alicia Ruffin May, you know her. I know you see.
Yeah,
you just don't pay. Who was the chick that died? The judge I had that I don't know if you knew her. She was my judge prior to her. She died in office, and she was the lady that said, "I actually did the whole thing myself." I was like, "I'm going to win. I'm going to win. This is a material change in circumstances. I'm going to win." Yes, he had just gone to jail. I had just gotten him arrested, and I kid you not, she won.
Wow.
Because the logic was, well, she needs to still get child support to prepare in case he comes home. That's not the standard. The standard is a material change in circumstances for the kid. And last time I checked, jail covers it.
Yeah.
Jail covers it. Jail totally covers it. So, now I get Brooklyn's name. Okay, cool. I don't know if that's his real name or not, but I get it. Brooklyn, New York. The Dodgers should be back in Brooklyn. So I don't know if he's still in there. I sent him a link, but good, he's here. Well, why is it this will need to connect? Oh, you got to connect your mic and stuff, dude. It'll pop up. Hang on, let me see if I can get it. Can you hear him? You hear me?
What? I have a.
You there, Brooklyn?
Yes, I do.
Hey, how are you?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Do you hear me?
Yeah, a little bit. You're a little wobbly.
I'm done.
Yeah, Brandon, if you flee the country, that's usually frowned upon. But I guess you don't pay if you're like oh God, what was Sharon Tate's husband's name? Do you remember? Oh, come on, he's a freaking child rapist himself. He directed movies. Roman Polanski. Yeah, he's in Switzerland or Monaco. I don't know, one of the two. He's been in hiding for like 20 years. He's still got warrants. Oh crap, I lost him. Come back, Brooklyn. Dang it.
Must not be a good connection.
Yeah, I don't think it is because he was really chopping in and out. Yeah, it may be on me. It can't be on me. I've got like half gigabit internet. There's no way. Anyway, so maybe he'll be able to come back. I can't imagine. How much is that per year, Clint? $4,200 a month?
It's close to $50,000 a year.
Holy shit. I can't. I don't know what Brandon's paying. You're paying $1,133. I'm not even going to say what I pay because it was a private agreement. It was a private agreement. It's not bad. It's really not. It's not bad. I'm not complaining about it. It's just I'm not paying for somebody who's in prison, and you can't get anything done. It's Jefferson County. It's the little grab bag.
Well, you can't get anything done anywhere.
He's back. Hang on one second. I don't want to. Excuse me. I don't want to lose him. I ate Mexican and I shouldn't have. Yeah, it's not well. Yeah, I still need to connect your mic. This app isn't bad. This StreamYard, it's not bad. Works pretty decent. I'm not exactly the most professional with this crap, so. Cool, you there, Brooklyn? Nope, I lost him again. Dang it. Yeah, maybe he can think about going to, Brandon's thinking about going to Canada. They have extradition, dumbass.
Canada's about to be America, or so I heard.
Yeah, that's the last place you want to go, Brandon. Let's try at least somewhere like, I don't know, Vietnam. Sounds good. I mean, you kind of have to get used to the people that sound like a motorbike passing you by. My aunt's Vietnamese, so I can make fun of them. So nice. Anybody that gets offended can kiss my ass, literally. So anyway, let's go back. I'm hoping I can get him connected back on. God, I hate that. Damn it. I hate that I got him confused. I thought, anyway, his name. I apologize, dude, for misgendering. Let me see if it'll. I think you got internet issues, Brooklyn. Unless StreamYard's having an issue. Brandon, are we having an issue on the stream? Is it smooth or is it chopping? If he's even paying attention. Let me see. I feel like one of those. All good here. So it's on Brooklyn. Well, let me see if I can get Brooklyn now. You there, bud?
Yes. Do you have Zoom?
No, I don't. It's through this app. That's about as good as we're going to get. So tell me about your case. How long you been divorced? Can you hear me? Keep cutting in and out.
Yeah.
Man, we'll try it. We'll try it later, man. Just if you can, just text me and let me know on the in the text if you can make it through. So anyway, I think we left off. Your ex had moved into that small residence on the family property. You meant her family property, right?
Yeah, it actually is right next door to her mother and stepfather's residence. Just
okay,
adjacent to it.
And that's the gentleman that unalived himself or got.
Correct.
Okay. How old was he?
Oh man, I want to say 72.
Oh man.
I think that was his age when he died.
Was it actually as a result? Do y'all know for sure? I mean, did he leave a note?
No, he did. He went to his lawyer, updated his will.
That's never a good sign.
Yeah. A couple of hours later, they were pulling him out of a flaming car, and he never regained consciousness. Died in the hospital.
Damn. Okay.
So
yeah, I've never had anyone do. Well, that's not true. Yeah, I did have. Well, he's dead, so it doesn't matter. There's no confidentiality with the dead guy, but I'm not going to say who he was. But he took a plea on a domestic, and God, I hate to talk ill of the dead. He got out, and about a year later, he should have been able to get a gun, but we all know getting a gun isn't difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just not. I could probably go out tonight, even where I'm at, and I don't know, a couple hours I could have one. Went over to see her, and her boyfriend was there, and he discharged those rounds and wounded him. I ended up getting him appointed to me. That's how I found out about this. That's how creepy it was. Yeah. Oh yeah. And then he killed her and or unalived her. YouTube will probably nail me. And then also, unfortunately, himself. And we knew he had, but you can't do anything in Alabama for mental health. I mean, you had Bryce on the University of Alabama campus, but no, and you've got I'll think of the name in a little while. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but it's essentially a mental health prison. And of course, they do all of the evaluations for criminal, and shockingly, everybody is found competent. I've had people literally talk to the roof. that I knew were, after 6 hours in the room trying to get through a 30-minute freaking conversation, I knew the lady was nuts. Oh no, she was competent. It's like, she can't even assist in her own damn, health care for her own, daily. I mean, it was bad, but, anyway, so that's sad that he lost his life doing that, or that happened. So that happened how long ago?
Oh man, that would have been 21, 22 ish.
Was that a year into your divorce, or was it right as soon as it started?
So our divorce was finalized in 2020. She had started.
It was finalizing, and what'd you do? Go back and try to modify the divorce decree?
I went back to modify because she was not doing what she was supposed to do. Of course,
so that's where it gets really bad.
Exactly.
Yeah, people don't. Okay, just because people are going to watch this.
Yeah,
and I know Brandon knows what I'm about to say. Modification is what you do. You can do it for child support. You can go back. Nobody does it to modify the actual decree itself. But you can go back and modify child support and do a modification, file it. And, or you may not even do a modification. You may just file a rule nisi, which is a petition to the court for show cause. Come in and show cause for why you should be able to contempt.
I filed a rule nisi for show cause because what had happened was she had stopped bringing my daughters for visitation. My sons were still coming like clockwork, and we were spending all kinds of time together. Like they were asking to stay late. They wanted to stay extra. We were going rock climbing a couple of nights a week. Like never had any issues, but the girls had severe behavior problems.
What kind of issues were they having? How many kids did you have again?
4.
Okay.
Two girls who were older, 2 boys who were younger. Okay. And I started asking around. I finally went to one of my daughters I found out had made a false child abuse report to her therapist. And I had to deal with that. So, and when I went and talked to the therapist, she told me that, of course, mom had given the kids way too much information about the divorce, and that,
which is a
exactly right. And that, my oldest daughter just was really angry, really upset, and needed a little bit of time. Right. So,
how old was she at the beginning?
This was like 11 or 12 when this is happening.
And just so everybody knows, in Alabama, it's one of 2 states that has it's the British common law, the age of majority of 19. Don't ask, don't know. It's stupid. So you don't get to smoke until you're 19. And apparently that's not going to be happening. Good luck for both of you and Brandon, because they just passed that new rule. Stupid. So stupid to ban anything with nicotine that you can consume by smoking. That was like 2 days ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, and I did what the therapist said. I laid off and just didn't let her chill for a couple months. And and then I started emailing my ex, and I was like, "Hey, you need to bring my daughter. You need to bring my daughter for visitation. You need to bring."
She didn't have. I mean, she never called, showed up, nothing for like 2 months.
Nothing.
Ghosting you.
Yeah, and so I started, and so my ex would just email back, "She's not coming. She's not coming. She's not coming." And I'm
even though the court order says thou shalt do this every 2 weeks.
Exactly. So that went on. I gave her as much rope as I was willing to give her, and then I was like, "All right, enough is enough. We got to go back to court." And mom is one of those people who she literally cannot do anything wrong ever. And so when I took her back to court to hold her accountable for not bringing the kids, which really would have been a simple fix at that time, just like, "Hey, let's show up in court, have a hearing, and we're going to fix mom."
Or she could have just been, I don't know, put her big girl panties on and just called you and been like, okay, what time?
Well, asking her to be a grown up is another issue as
That's
well.
a lot of them. I mean, most of this stuff could be fixed by parents. I mean, just parenting.
Yeah,
and being
yeah.
adults.
Why don't we try that?
No, it's like
so-
they got to continue the divorce. It has
Right.
to never end, and it's like at some point, even my ex and I've got a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot. We still can have a conversation. I mean, it's not like, it can be done. It's not like we have an issue or anything. It's just I'm too legally, because I'm either representing myself or a party against her. So, but as far as the kid, no, I mean, even, the day, we've been in court and you were there. I mean, we spoke, and I don't, but she's still evil. Don't get me wrong. She's, the spawn of Satan and Beelzebub. She's probably a Satan worshiping Jew. I'm Jewish, so I can say that. I get the card. I get the free get out of free card. She's the. I mean, I don't know. She sucks. But I think everybody says that about their spouse in some shape or form.
Yeah, it does. So anyway, like I said, when
I agree with that, Brandon.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah.
All hell breaks loose. Then we have to get the guardian ad litem, which we talked about. And then we have to get.
Oh, speaking of which, keep talking because.
Yeah.
Yes, I can share that mess. I think
we'll get to the guardian ad litem.
This will be great.
Then we get the parent coordinator, and then and so now all of a sudden, instead of fixing the problems.
Wait a minute. Go back. Is that the? I still don't know what a parent coordinator is. Like, I went back through the rules because we do have a domestic relations. It's rule civil procedure, but there is a separate rule book. There's like nothing called that. So, like I'm, was there one for you and one for her? And how much did they get paid?
No, it was one guy who's a parent coordinator, and he was another lawyer who was billable hourly, who's supposed to manage and mediate stuff in between. And I'm like, there's no more useless role. And like, we have problems that we actually have to fix.
Yeah.
And so ultimately what happens is, in these cases, if like, mom never had a real reason to withhold visitation.
Did she ever give one?
It's all made up.
Okay.
It's all made up. And we'll get to that when we get to trial. But if a Crittenden client,
who's Crittenden? For just people that don't know, who is it?
Oh yeah, the Crittenden firm is the most universally well-known firms in Birmingham for complete lack of integrity and ethics. They are extremely well known for just causing problems to run up bills. They're really well known for just making stuff worse for everybody.
What they do? How did they make it worse for you?
Oh, well, this whole thing is, how do they make it worse for me?
Oh, it's all related. I got it.
Look, I literally have an email from Deborah Gregory to one of my former lawyers.
Is this one of them? Is this them? Can you see it? Is it showing? Yeah, there we go. Is that them?
Yeah, that's them. Gregory's the one on the right.
Far right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So anyway,
who's this one? Who's this one? Do you know?
Wait, which one are you pointing at?
Next to her, next to the chick with the fake black hair.
That's Laura Montgomery Lee, and she's just as bad.
Yeah, I know that name. I don't think I thought I had met her before, but I don't think I have. She's not familiar. This chick is. I know. I know her from somewhere. Probably at some CLE I did. Who's this one? Do you know her?
I don't.
Okay. No, you don't know this one either? Well, hell, I could probably just find out where it says about attorneys. Oh, look. Here we go. You had that one right. Oh, she's a managing partner. That's probably a Rolex on her wrist. Look at that rock. Well, good money. Oh, and there's yep, that's her name. Yep, that's who I thought it was. I thought that her name was Judy. I thought so. Of counsel. I still, after 13 years, I still don't know what the hell of counsel means.
Who knows what half this legal stuff means?
I really don't. I think it's somebody who's not a partner, but usually they call those associate, attorneys. I don't get it, but like there you go, right here. Associate attorney, Mackenzie Cox. I do not know either of these people. Independence Drive. I know where that's at. Okay. They have 2 addresses. Oh, dang. They must be prolific. So what was your run in with them like?
Oh, horrible. I mean, like I said, and this is the kind of stuff they'll do. I literally have an email from Deborah Gregory to one of my previous attorneys, and I'll dig this up for our next episode. She literally advised her client to not bring the kids to me for visitation one weekend. Literally says, I've told my client to take them to his mother's house instead.
Why?
Well, I was planning on taking them out for a weekend I've got some family out of town that has some farmland.
Right.
It's a great place for kids. I grew up going out there and hanging out with aunts, uncles, and cousins. And, it's the kind of place where you can just walk out the back door and vanish for about half a day.
Sure.
There's a creek, there's railroad tracks, there's cows, you name it. So
I just introduced my kid, she's almost 9, to camping for the first time this year, and she freaking loved it. I can't. I gotta go do it again. I'm so irritable. I thought I was gonna break her of it and be like, she ain't never gonna do this again. It was 22 degrees. No,
Right.
I'm screwed.
But yeah, so anyway, I was going to take them out there for the weekend.
I bet you I get a bar complaint from showing this, showing some kind of ill repute or some bullshit.
Hey, please do. I will validate everything that I say with documentation. With documentation, and I so that I can show you and everybody else just how dishonest and unethical these people are. And I'll also show you that, like,
that's the whole point of this. I want to get into it. Like,
yeah. Well, I keep trying to. You keep derailing me.
Sorry. Did I have ADD? And it was rough going through law school like this. It was bad.
I can imagine. So anyway, she literally told my ex not to bring the kids to me for visitation and to take them somewhere else. And my lawyer's response was, I don't recommend we deal with Deborah Gregory anymore because she's not going to be rational.
With the risk of cause, do you feel like, are you okay with saying who that lawyer was?
That lawyer was Emmanuel Scazzaro.
Okay. All right. I can say this. I've dealt with a guy now for over a year in Tennessee who's 84 years old, a lawyer. Oh my God. I have dealt with his nickname is Flossie. It sounds like a bad stripper name or hooker name, I know. And Flossie has what we call, like, I called within an hour and a half radius every lawyer I could in Tennessee in this area. No one would take the case.
Wow.
No one. In fact, the statement was, no, I don't want nothing to do with Flossie. It's not worth it. No way. I'm not doing it. No. I'm like, well, what if we give you, I think it was a $15,000 retainer, not from me, but no. It's called the Flossie tax. So I'm guessing this person is like Flossie. It's a tax, and you're going to pay it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, I've got mom's lawyer directing and dictating my visitation outside of court orders. I've got another lawyer saying, hey, this behavior is not rational. Mom's attorney is not rational. And, the bar, of course, is like, oh, whatever.
Totally okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and anyway,
was this your ex-wife's attorney from the get-go, or did she come in midway?
From the get-go.
Okay. All right.
From the get-go. So anyway, and so it was just junk like that all the time. So I was like, you know what? She's not bringing the kids. We need to go back to court. I need to get something done. My court is going to be my last resort every single time because A, lawyers, and B, just a lot of it's just a waste of time and money.
Right. That's usually the answer for everything, though. Unfortunately,
yeah,
lawyers are a waste.
So anyway, we go back to court. She flips out. She's got no excuse. So she has to spend the next 3.5 years torturing my children to try and manufacture a case after the fact.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Totally. No, it does. She's got to start looking for kinks in your or chinks in your armor.
Exactly. So we get the GAL, we get the parent coordinator, we have to go have a psych eval. We had, like while she's doing all of this stuff, my kids are confused, they're frustrated, they're anxious, they don't know what's going on, they have no stability. At least one of my boys ended up on medication. He couldn't sleep at night.
They put a kid on medicine for sleep.
It was like an anxiety ADD type medicine to just kind of chill him out.
It's called Clonidine or Minipress. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't remember which one it was, but I remember he was at my house one weekend and he came to the bedroom at like 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning and was like, "Hey, Dad, I can't go to sleep." And so I went down to the basement where he stayed and like laid down on the couch and I just like put my hand on his head or his shoulder or something like that so he could just feel me there. And I think he finally got some sleep. But the next day I asked him and I was like, "Hey man, how often does this happen a lot?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Well, how often can you not sleep at night?" And he's like, "I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 nights a week."
That's quite a bit. How old is he?
Oh man, he would have been 12 at the time, I think.
Man, right at puberty. Damn. Okay.
Yeah, and so of course I email mom, and I'm like, "Hey, Mason is reporting to me that he can't sleep at night." A lot of it has to do with all of this garbage court stuff that you're doing to him. Like, what gives? And of course, mom refuses to respond. Refuses to respond. So it's just junk like that over and over and over and over while she plays games, manipulates the kids, files fake emergencies to try to get visitation suspended, files fake this, files
What
fake
was
that.
the grounds for, wait a minute, what was the grounds for the suspended visitation?
There were never any grounds for suspended.
Well, I mean, what was the allegation?
There was no allegation, really. She copied and pasted another filing that she did, put emergency in on top of it. The hearing we had for it, there was no testimony or evidence given.
The bar doesn't do anything. You're fine, says Brandon. Yeah, it's definitely not somewhere you go for your drink.
Yeah. And so my kid got his visitation taken away. And we can talk more about this in trial when we get to trial.
Wait, what was the grounds for taking? Wait a minute. Hang on. So she is it just him?
It was just him at that point. So here's what mom did to make her case. She never did anything at all to protect all of the children from me. Right? Because I'm not actually dangerous. What she did was she took about 3.5 years and played games and picked them off one at a time over about a 3 or 4 year period.
It sounds more like a lawyer doing that.
Oh yeah, the lawyer 100% directed the alienation. So anyway, because we got to trial, and mom kind of had this little breakdown where her veneer cracked, and like everybody in the courtroom saw this.
You're talking about the first trial, not the modification.
The modification trial.
Okay. What happened in the first one? Like when you got divorced, was it just a regular agreement? And
it was standard. We're going to split the house 50-50 every other weekend visitation.
Okay. So it's standard agreement order and divorce order.
There was nothing
Which, by the way, we actually do
Fancy letter.
use like copies of everybody's. I mean, it's the same damn thing. We just,
Right.
I'm giving away I'm giving away a trick, so to speak. That's
Yep.
unfortunately true for a lot of things lawyers do. But anyway, so in the modification hearing,
Yeah. So modification trial. Mom has this moment where she panics and she starts accidentally telling the truth on the witness stand, just like rapid fire. It was weird.
on cross or on direct.
It was on cross, and so she goes. She literally says from the witness stand that my son was fine with visitation until she had it suspended. And I was, and I'm trying to remember it as close to verbatim as I can. Obviously, as you know, it was a while ago, but
So a court split the kids up for visitation, though. Is that what
ask that a different way?
you got? 4 kids. You're
Mhm.
supposed to get them every 2 weeks, depending on the agreement. You should get all 4 kids on that Friday,
Yep.
or however it's set up, and you should be good for 48 hours. So how did the court justify yanking the son but letting you be cool with the 3 girls? Or
Well, she was already not bringing the rest. He was the last man standing.
Oh, I got it. Holy crap!
And here's what happened. This was like November. We had a trial date set for I think January, and she was never going to win her case if my kid was still coming for visitation. So she had to file the fraudulent emergency to get the kid so that she would have all the kids before trial.
And she did that. Those are done ex parte, so it had already been done by the time you got notice.
Well, we had a hearing for it, but anyway, my poor kid doesn't know what's going on. He's telling his lawyer, "I want to see my dad." So the GAL knows he wants to see his dad. His mom knows he wants to see his dad. His mom has already told all the other kids that once they're his age, they can decide to do what they want to do. But now all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the court orders apply, right?
Yeah.
And so anyway, she kicks the can down the road, delays more, does absolutely nothing to get the kid his time back while I'm spending thousands of dollars to get the kid his time back because he's literally asking her and his lawyer, "I want to go back to see my dad." But like out, it was like out of the blue. The court orders have never mattered before until now. Kids have always been able to just do whatever they want to until now. And so anyway, she confesses in the courtroom that he was fine with visitation until she got it suspended, and that I was taking him to drum lessons once a week, which was true. Like we had our regular weekends, and I would go to her house, pick him up. And I forget if it was, it was like a Tuesday or Thursday night. We'd go grab dinner. I would take him to his drum lesson. We'd hang out for an hour or two, and I'd take him back. Like no issues ever. But we have this fake emergency, and I know Brandon is on the. I think he's still there.
He's still there.
So Crittenden, and I don't want to share too much of your story, but Crittenden tried the exact same scam with his daughter the next year. I think they filed their emergency in late November, December, alleging physical abuse to try and steal her visitation. And thankfully, that one didn't go through. But those are the kinds of dirty tricks and scams that people like Deborah Gregory and literally every attorney, I believe, at the Crittenden firm will do. They will hurt children on purpose to win cases, and it is the sickest, most disgusting, inhuman thing I can think of that anyone would do to a child. And Deborah Gregory, I hope you see this. I hope you see this, and I hope you see this because you're sick.
Yeah,
you're a sick human.
I don't understand the point of I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at Brooklyn saying his system sucks. I don't understand the point of an attorney having, like, I never had that issue, so because I don't always have to win. The point of the point of a divorce is obviously to get an amicable divorce or to get as much as you can for your client or whatever, the best result. But when it comes to kids, it's like, look, it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Some states are even doing like thank you, a 50-50 split where if you're both in the same county, you get 2 weeks and the other parent gets them 2 weeks.
Hey,
Alabama don't do that.
Do you know what's really cool about states that do that? I was looking at some data. So the states that do start with 50-50, and they've made that kind of their mandatory rule, they have fewer cases in litigation.
Yep.
And they have fewer child abuse allegations, fewer reports of child abuse, and less litigation when both parents are allowed to parent their children.
Yeah.
And
that's where a lot of the and it's, look, this stuff does happen, the abuse, and it's hard to deal with when it does, but a lot of it is just manufactured crap.
Yeah, it's manufactured bullshit.
I mean, that's all it is. So they get this final modification. I'm guessing the court grants it. I'm not sure why, and why it was okay for the other 3 kids not to be coming. That's kind of peculiar. So that puts you in the situation of, well, now I got to file modification or to sue her to get custody.
Again, we got to look at mom and what she said on the witness stand, and it happened during a line of questioning, and like, she was caught red-handed in her lie again on the witness stand, and William H. Bostic III saw it. My attorney said, hey, if I sent my kids to somebody's house, and one of them came back saying they were afraid or they didn't feel safe, would it make sense for me to continue sending all my other kids there?
Right.
And mom just looked at the ground and was like, no. And I'm like, ding, 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 ding. You had no excuse for what you were doing to my children. You had no excuse for what you were doing to my kids. And man, I get so angry.
Well, it's normal, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
she's hurting my children on purpose so that she can get her way, and then she tries to tell everybody that it's my fault, and I'm like, no. But anyway, that's that. So that's Deborah Gregory, the attorney from Crittenden. You want to talk about our other favorite attorney, Kendra Beauchamp?
Yeah, that's the one I don't know the most. That story I don't know a whole lot about. So let's go into that one.
Yeah,
well, hang on a second. So you lost. I can't believe you. God, how did you? I still don't understand how you lose all 4 visitation. I'm still not understanding why the court did an emergency grant just based on the allegation of abuse, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Wow. And so that's what made you have to go into the final lawsuit when we met.
Yeah, that's where we were. That happened during the pendency of, because instead of I filed a petition and we have a hearing and a trial, she filed her counter, then she got the GAL, then she got the parent coordinator, so it's like everything she did was just to kick the can down the road, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just show up and say, hey, answer for what you've been doing.
Right.
Or, that's the easy way. But no, you can't hold mom accountable at all.
And this took how many years to get through?
From the time I filed my petition, it's right at about, I'm like 4 years ish.
Did she remarry?
Yeah, she started dating somebody almost immediately after the divorce and married him.
Figured.
A year or so later ish.
Okay. Has he been a problem, or has that been pretty clean?
I mean, he's been helping her do this stuff to my kids. So that's a problem. He helped her do what they did to her stepdad. So that's a problem. I mean, I think I don't know him really at all. But
you've not had any issues. What you mean?
No, I mean the kids have made fun of him before.
Oh, I could go into some detail. Yeah,
But
we won't do that. We won't do that. I don't want to out the guy.
Yeah.
So let's. Wow. So this was Deborah Gregory doing. I say doing this. Was that who it was that got all the kids yanked?
Yes.
Okay. Where does Miss was Laura involved in the case, or was she just?
She wasn't.
Okay. Because I think we both know someone else that I think she was. I think so. That's why I was double checking. Okay, so let's go with the other lady that I don't know. What was her name?
Kendra Beauchamp.
No, that one's not ringing a bell.
Well, she's was a brand new lawyer. And this is, for your viewers who have not gone through this process, this will be educational. Whenever it's highly likely when you're in a custody dispute that one or another party is going to request a guardian ad litem, which is a lawyer to represent the kids. Right.
Yeah.
Which honestly makes, in some specific circumstances, I think probably makes sense. I think probably 85% of the time it just doesn't.
No, it doesn't. I mean, usually it makes sense when you have pretty decent allegations of some sort of abuse or something going on.
Right. So anyway, I've been parenting my own children pretty okay for a little over a decade at this point without anybody's help.
Nope.
And so all of a sudden I get this person who is fresh out of law school, has no experience.
How did you, wait a minute, for you or for her?
Well, it's for the kids.
Okay, yeah, for the G. Is this the one you sent me the videos of?
Yes.
I'm gonna try to keep telling the story because
try and pull those up. Because this is just more of what a clown show family court is.
Clown would be a good, yeah. Clown's a good art.
So anyway, this person doesn't know how to get her work done. She can't return a phone call. She doesn't do her job. She doesn't know what she's doing, and she's telling me how to parent my kids. And I'm like, no, like I'm sorry. You're not necessary.
Is she even old enough to have kids? Because I've seen her photo.
I think she has kids. I'm not sure. Sure. But anyway, she's just in the mix. At least 3 of my kids had some extreme issues with her. My oldest son says that she's overpriced.
Your kids?
Yeah, my oldest son said that to me. My youngest son, I just casually asked him one time. I was like, "Hey, how's everything going with Kendra? Do you feel like she's, how's that going?" And he goes, "I don't need a lawyer and I don't want a lawyer. Lawyers are just people who make you talk about the divorce." And what mom doesn't give a rip about is that my kids were sick about talking about the divorce way before the GAL ever showed up.
I think this there.
Okay, yeah, here we go.
This is so bizarre.
Yeah, I wish we had better audio.
Yeah, is it coming through at all?
I can hear it a little bit.
Okay, well, it's the first time I've ever. I don't even know how to get rid of it. It's the first time I've ever used it as a function. So.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, like you can see what she's doing here. She's literally just like making fun of people who are in the legal system. She's making herself look like a clown. She's doing it on company time, all dressed up for work, but she can't find it.
Who does she work for?
I think she's got her own firm. I don't know if she has any real clients. I think she does public defender stuff and GAL stuff, and that's
what county?
I think most of the cases she has, she just gets assigned. I'm not 100% sure.
Shelby.
Shelby, yep.
Okay.
But anyway, my kids were having trouble with her. I was having trouble with her. My kid's therapist could not get her on the phone.
Wow. I had to do the next one.
Those are good.
The hell is? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Holy okay. All right.
So anyway, like everybody's having issues with Kendra Beauchamp, and I start poking around, looking around on the internet for like who even is this person? And I find this stuff that she's posted. This is her public TikTok, right? She put it out there for the whole world to see. And I find it, and I sent it to my lawyer. I sent it to her. I sent it to the parent coordinator, and I sent it to everybody. And I was like, "Can we please make it to where this person never talks to my kids again?"
Shay, I mean, I'd probably be asking the same. 125 an hour. Yeah.
No, for real, Chris. Like you don't know this person.
Yeah.
They don't know your kids.
And she's advising your children.
She's advising your children. Like, would you hire that person just based on what you see?
No, I'd fire her.
Exactly.
Being honest. I mean, it's one thing to have an opinion and stuff and to air it out or whatever, even if it's political or I don't care.
Yeah.
But that's just weird.
It is. It is.
That's very bizarre.
So anyway, they actually the attorney, the parent coordinator actually tried to complain to the judge that I was emailing people about Kendra's public TikTok profile.
Okay. Why? What's wrong? I mean,
hell if I know.
What happened? Okay, what happened with that stupid ass complaint?
Nothing.
Well, that's good. That's what should have happened. Okay.
The problem is nobody ever fixed Kendra Beauchamp either, and she just continued to cause problems for my kids.
For how many years?
She was around for 3.5 years. 3.5 years too.
Wow. So every hearing she's there. Every.
Mm-hmm. Here's another good one. And so this is my youngest daughter. She was so fed up. Mom could not make her case in court. So she had to use the kids. She had to bring the kids in to testify against me. They all came in with their pre-printed, prepped notes.
Right.
That were scripted. They were all coached up and directed. My youngest daughter, on her way to the witness stand, walking through the courtroom, is like shooting lasers back at Kendra and verbally slamming her for making her come testify.
Yeah, I've never done that with a kid.
Yeah, my daughter literally is walking to the witness stand saying things like, "I don't even know why I have to be here. I'm supposed to have an attorney to represent me. No child should have to do this."
How old was she?
She was 14 at the time.
That's a pretty smart kid.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm like, and baby, if you ever see this, I just want you to know how proud I am of you for standing up to what is one of your worst enemies.
That's yeah.
Kendra Beauchamp did you nothing but harm and caused you and your sister and your brothers more harm than she ever did good. And I'm proud of you for standing up to her.
I'm glad you have the chance to even say it. That's that I know it feels better. And I haven't been able to speak to my kid in 4 years.
I get it, man. It's hard. It's hard. But man, I'm so proud of her for standing. And I watched Kendra in the courtroom just like shrink into herself while that was going on. And I mean, like, why do you, if a kid doesn't want to testify that bad, you don't coerce a kid to testify on a witness stand. And she did that to 2 of my children, 2 of them. And I'm like, you're sick. You're sick, Kendra Beauchamp. You are sick.
That's yeah. I mean, what was it they testified to?
They read her scripted notes that she had typed out. Kinder Beauchamp represented mom 100% of the time. She never represented the children's best interests.
Did she know, or was she friends with Crittenden firm people in it?
I don't know. I will say during trial, the collusion between the two of them was so thick. I mean, you couldn't not see it. I mean, it was like, you know, mom didn't have her attorney, and the kids didn't have their attorney. Mom had a little legal team.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, she did. I mean, Kendra Beauchamp literally represented mom, never the kids. And she's the one who did. Kendra Beauchamp actually did a lot of the alienating. But you know, we can't talk about that because she has a law degree.
How did she? In what way did she cause alienation?
She actually shared inappropriate information with the kids. She never advocated for them.
Or did she advocate, but it was only in a positive light for the mom?
Well, and that's why I say she only ever represented mom. You know, she.
I mean,
And I'll say that she, you know, she knew my son wanted to come back for visitation, like almost immediately after it got taken away. She did nothing. She said nothing. She even got the hearing that we scheduled for that delayed by another 2 months because she needed to go on vacation.
damn.
And you've got a kid who's been begging to see his dad for months. His lawyer's doing nothing. His mom's doing nothing. I'm doing all the work. And then she kicks the can down the road 2 more months. Like, way to help your client. Way to help.
Why did the court even? I don't think that would have ever. Oh, I know it wouldn't have worked, or at least I practiced. The judge would have been like, Well, you should have planned your vacation a little bit better. You don't get to just postpone stuff because of that.
Who knows if Bill Bostic had the opportunity to do nothing and kick the can down the road on my case, he took it.
That's a lot of courts, dude. That's a lot of judges.
Yeah, if he had the opportunity to not do his job and somebody was going to give him a pass, he skated. So, and that's another reason that you end up with 3.5 years of litigation. It's because the judge just doesn't manage. Obviously, he doesn't manage the officers of his court.
Right.
You know, just hands the whole thing over to other people who are not really that good at their jobs, and try to let them figure it out instead of making the decisions that he needs to make when he needs to make them. And stuff just got worse and worse and worse and worse for my kids while mom played games. And I think even he knows that mom played games in his courtroom. And I think that's why he's trying to hammer me.
I just don't understand what. Well, I'm not going to try to get into his mind.
Well, I don't know, man. These lawyers, the Crittenden attorneys, are all getting sued in federal court right now. Oral arguments are in April for what they've been doing. So it's a hot button issue.
How many people are suing them? You know?
I think just 2.
Okay.
There need to be more suits, but
that's pretty rare. I mean, what's the? Do you? I don't know if you're privy to the information of what the grounds are. I mean, I'm sure I could go find it, but I don't have a Pacer account, which is what federal court uses.
It's almost a 200-page document complaint.
Damn.
And you've got everything from destruction of evidence to mishandling of medical information to literal kidnapping. Deborah Gregory took one of my friend's kids out of a courtroom without authorization, rode him around in her personal vehicle for a couple hours, I think.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Hell if I know. To get in the kid's head, maybe.
I
know.
guess a man that's an attorney, that's never going to happen because, well, I mean, it probably does, but you'd be an utter retard to do it because you're going to end up getting. I promise you're going to get a charge. So but I'm shocked that even a woman would attempt something like that.
Dude, that's what they don't care. They think they can just get away with anything, and they have for so long that they continue doing it.
It makes me sick because
Yeah.
it's here I am part of this guild.
Yeah. I know, but you're one of the, I think, relatively rare ones who actually is willing to talk about it and do something about it. So
yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, you're probably right.
The real issue is maybe it's not all the attorneys are bad. Maybe it's 10% of them are really horrible, but the other 80 just like sit back and say nothing. And then there are only 10% people like you who are like, hey, this is bad stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's hard when you get because you're limited in the rules of procedure to what you can do, and if a judge starts ruling against you, you're left with an appeal the appellate court.
Yep.
I mean that, and they really don't give a shit. They really don't care because that's an equitable remedy, and even though Alabama doesn't have equity courts anymore, without getting into that, they just have such a wide berth for discretion that it's almost absurd. Well, actually, it really is, and they won't rein it in. If you tried to do what they do in a criminal court, it would a lot of stuff would get overturned. It would just get nailed.
Right.
But in divorce court, it's equity. They have a wide berth. So it sounds like that's. I mean, sounds like it's a nice little cabal.
Oh yeah.
Of people that get together, and it's like I've said before. It's like it's a favor bag or something, and somebody's going to eventually at some point scratch someone else's back.
Exactly.
I don't think anybody. I'm crap. I forgot to do the stupid. What do you call it? Disclaimer. I'm not your lawyer. I'm not anybody else's lawyer. I'm not giving legal advice on this webcast. So this is just us bitching and moaning on the system. But that's the issue. But I don't think I don't think anybody's paying anybody per se. I think it's favors. It's just favors. And if you don't hire the right lawyer, you're done. You're done.
Yeah, or if your lawyer just happens to not be friends with the other person's lawyer, or they just happen to be whatever. Or if the lawyer has another case with the judge and they need the judge to be nice to them on their next case, or
that is an issue.
And that's what I don't like. I'll say this: we looked at the numbers on the last episode about how low public confidence is in both judicial and legal ethics, and I have never seen a. Now I don't have experience with this, but I would assume maybe some senators in Congress are like this too. But the legal profession is one of the most elitist, closed groups in the world, and they are all special and they are all important, and they will be treated with honor and dignity because they have a law degree. And then you look at a clown show like Kendra Beauchamp on TikTok, and you're like,
I just can't believe I saw that.
You're like, I wouldn't hire you to babysit my dog.
No, I probably wouldn't. I mean, it's bad enough with just the video content. I mean, look, she wants to, she can do it. It's not a problem. It's not disciplinary, but it's creepy, especially when you start using filters of someone else's voice.
It's really creepy.
It's pretty damn creepy. So
and yeah, Brandon, you're 100% correct. My kids and my kids' therapist has said this to me. My kids are old enough and smart enough to understand that the court system itself has trashed their lives and they hate it.
There's no recourse.
Yeah, Judge Bostic, Kendra Beauchamp, Deborah Gregory, you have taught my children to have contempt for court. You have taught them not to trust their government. You have taught them that government overreach will ruin their lives. You know, and unfortunately, my kids think it's me. They don't understand that mom and her lawyer and her other lawyer and her other lawyer have just been playing games and making a mess the entire. Exactly.
Puppet master.
Yeah. And you know, I've done everything I can to try and shut mom down and get her to quit.
How much? Just so people have an idea, because I know you've said you lost everything. That I think that was even what I titled the last one episode. Mm-hmm. But how much did it cost you for 4 years of litigation? Your side only. I don't even care, because I know you get smoked in the end of this.
Yeah, I mean, hard costs, we're probably looking at 25, 30 grand. Wow. If you look up the fact that I had to end up, because I had a part-time job going to court, and I ended up having to give up my business just to maintain. I mean, we're talking about lost income of probably close to $500,000, because I could not run and operate my business and have this part-time job as like a pseudo lawyer managing my case.
No, and I think that's part of the game. That I know it's part of the game X's play, but you know, it's like they don't get that in the end. Okay, you've won. Now he has no income.
Yeah,
or much markedly reduced. What the hell point is it?
Yeah, now you can't get the money that you want from him anyway because it doesn't exist. Like, good work. You've trashed my kids' lives. They've lost every relationship they ever had, and you don't get any of the money that you wanted because it doesn't exist. Congratulations.
So, God, this doesn't get any freaking better. It just gets worse, and it's every damn person I talk to, and it's not just Alabama. It's a legal profession issue.
Yeah, and
I mean, I've been to the classes. I mean, I've heard that. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that a lie that. Well, it starts from the bar, or it starts from, you know, somebody teaching it. Nobody's teaching it. I mean, honestly, they're not. But the people develop this on the inside because they get paid.
Oh, of course. But you know, and Chris, I'll blow it up even further. Like, it's not a legal issue; it's a person issue.
Yes.
Like, greed is a common human character flaw. I mean,
you add that combined with the requirement to zealously defend your client.
Yeah, exactly.
What the hell does that even mean?
But I mean, you know, you've got greedy people across every industry. You got physicians that will overbill insurance. Sure. You've got shady insurance agents that will do crazy stuff. You've got got lawyers that run up bills. You like greed. Human greed is like universal to everyone. But I think when it comes to the legal profession, there are supposed to be rules in place to curb that stuff, and those rules are the professional ethics. And those are, you know, if there's any institution that really should be focused on pruning this stuff regularly, it's the legal profession, because there's no room for it there. But
and sadly, the the last bulwark is supposed to be the court, the judge.
Yeah.
And when you have people, man, I'll just say it like I've heard it before. You know, what's the difference between a judge and a lawyer? Usually they couldn't hack it as a lawyer, and you know, they paid the $200 filing fee and they ran and got lucky and got elected. Mm-hmm. Once they get elected, people are like sheep. You know, they don't know who the hell the judge is. They're just screw it. You know.
Yeah.
You know, and if in Alabama, you know, you can actually put a party next to them, like a lot of states, Kentucky, Georgia. You can't. Judges are nonpartisan, which we all know is a complete horse hockey lie. I mean, everybody has partisan beliefs, but you're not allowed to put that letter. And that it gets worse because then it's just, well, I've always seen them on there, after 20 years, and
Yeah.
they just get reelected. And
So
same shit,
there's
different day.
funny you bring that up. Like, there's an attorney in Tuscaloosa, or sorry, a judge in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, I think I know who you're gonna say.
Yeah. Couldn't make it as a lawyer. He flipped parties so he could get an appointment as a judge. And general counsel of the state bar literally says about that guy,
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
this guy doesn't even know the law.
No, he's been disciplined enough to know he don't.
So and I'm like, he's just sitting there making whatever decision he feels like, because he's got the black robe and he's got his power gavel or whatever.
His power gavel, that's a good one. I'll have to remember that one. Pretty sure this is him. I'm pretty sure because the first thing I type up, and oh wow, look,
Oh wow,
disciplinary. Let's see. Hang on, I'll just do this. Oh yeah, there you go, disciplinary. He's been a judge a hot minute. I give him that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's been in there a while, and he's been in trouble. Well, that's not good. That's never good. I mean, it's better choice for yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's Tuscaloosa. Well, that's gotta be him. But all right, so I was just checking if that was the one you were talking about, because
Yep, that would be the one.
Yeah, it's not uncommon, dude. It's just not. I mean, I hate to tell people this, but you're not going to get an Anthony Scalia. Hell, you're not even going to get a Justice Breyer. I mean, you're just not. These people are. I mean, you pass the bar exam and practice. In fact, I don't even think I could be wrong. Alabama may have a time on it where you have to be practicing like 2 or 4 years to run for judge. I could be wrong though. That's it. You pay the fee, write the paperwork out, and that's it.
Man,
you're on the ticket. That's it. You get elected. That's it. I mean, there is nothing special about a judge other than they are the ones that run lives or can run. They can also fix things. I don't see it usually.
Yeah, it feels it. And look, I'll give a little bit of grace. I mean, I know that the dockets are overloaded, especially in Shelby County, and they could probably use 2 more judges, just because the workload is so high. But I think that, when you get to a level of overflow that you can't manage the workload and you're not really doing the things that you need to be doing, and you're outsourcing your job to guardian ad litems and parent coordinators who are only making things worse when things aren't getting resolved, it's just a cluster. But in any parent who chooses to surrender, and look, I'll say this about GALs and parent coordinators. Any parent who chooses to surrender their own parenting authority to some rando lawyer and another rando lawyer to make all the decisions for their kids, has already given up their parental rights.
Almost, yeah.
To a degree. Just bring them over to me, because I don't want those people in my kids' lives.
Yeah. No, I agree. I just Googled this, and I don't know why I didn't find it before, but this is what the hell they're. I don't know what the hell they're supposed to I'm reading it. They're resolve disagreements with the child. That's what the court's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
With child care discipline, they mediate, monitor progress. That's the GAL and the lawyers and the judge. I mean, how much? Who pays the bill?
Yeah. My favorite is monitor progress and ensure the parents comply with court orders. And do you know how many times I had to report my ex for failing to communicate, failing to give me
monthly,
failing to do this, not to mention she was already in contempt by withholding my girls. So she's already not following the court orders day one when you show up.
So she said, sure as hell not going to do it with them.
Exactly. So, of course, the parent coordinator sent me an email one time because I was like, I mean, I had figured out what Deborah Gregory was doing a long time ago. So I start blowing everybody up, and I'm like, I'm reviewing the rules of professional ethics. And I said, hey, parent coordinator, you're supposed to be reporting this stuff to the bar. And he emails me back and he goes, the rules of professional ethics do not apply to me.
I'm wondering if he wasn't a lawyer, but like a therapist, like some sort of licensed counselor.
He's an attorney.
Well, then they definitely apply. I don't know what the hell he's thinking.
He if he had been a real therapist, it would have been a lot better for my kids.
Depends on who the therapist is. I mean, I'm not going to put names out there. I don't want to get sued or anything, but it depends on who the therapist is. I mean, my biggest problem I had is and I'm not knocking them, licensed therapists, or what do they call them? Licensed mental health. I don't know. They're not like doctorates. They're not psychologists. They're not psychiatrists. Yeah. And okay, fine. They serve a purpose, but I had a hell of a time. It's like, hey, let's use a psychiatrist. No.
Well, at the end of the day, and I've told this to my kids' therapist too, if they end up in one of these situations, they're not really doing therapy anyway.
No, they're not.
They're being used as a patsy for the courts as well. And
it's a pawn.
It just goes back to nobody in the universe
gives a shit.
It gives a shit or can do for my kids what I can do for them.
No, that's right. I mean, you do have those times where, God forbid, you do have them where the parent is actually a very big problem, but they are. I mean, I can't count how many of these cases I've done, and I'll be honest, most of them it's just petty, stupid crap.
My whole case is junior high bullshit.
That's all it was. That's all it. Really, any of them go down to. It comes down to, it's money. It's money. They milk them as a money. Whether it's the lawyer making the money, the everybody makes money. Everybody gets it. The court, because they got to have a domestic relations judge. Which really and truly, if you got rid of it, you could, in a smaller county, you could sandwich that in with the civil court.
Yeah.
And just a circuit judge do it all. I mean, it's not that complicated, but I mean, you got therapists, doctors making money on the case. You've got GALs, you've got lawyers, you've got who the hell else knows? Yeah, and paralegals. You got everybody in the office staff, and if the lawyers, golly, if they're charging $300-400 an hour. Yeah, it's a lot, but they have a high overhead. But if they don't, damn, they're just pocketing. I mean, it's just straight cash,
right?
And if you've got 100 clients, which you can't be doing anything, honestly, it's rough. If you're by yourself and you got 50, well, excluding like misdemeanor cases that pop in from appointments and stuff that you might resolve the day of, if you have 50 ongoing cases. One person, you're swimming. I mean, you're drowning.
Oh, yeah.
You're drinking out of a freaking fire hose at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, and that's all that they're running it is. It seems, not all of them, but it seems like a vast majority of these big firms. It's just a money racket.
It is.
And they advertise. They'll advertise. I hate advertising. No lawyer should be able to advertise. I can't stand it. We're not allowed to go and, God forbid, I see a car accident and it's severe. I'm not even, I can't remember the exact amount of days. It's like 20, 30 days post-accident. You're not even allowed to go to the hospital to drop a card off that says, hey, please give me a call, especially before they die.
Yeah,
you can't. That's disciplinary. You'll get your butt smoked.
Funny story on that legal advertising. I used to be a property casualty insurance agent, and this kind of migrated up from Florida, but at a certain point, about 3 or 4 years ago, the accident and injury ad spend in the state of Alabama was resulting in a corresponding increase in insurance rates.
Sure. Call me, Alabama.
Exactly. Yeah, but it got to the point where the Department of Insurance was starting to have meetings with the Alabama State Bar about it.
It's a freaking problem. I can tell you it's a problem.
It was getting out of control.
And especially with the it's a valid case. The truckers, you know, and I know, I'm sure everybody's seen them, just nobody's ever thought about them. It's the stupidest idea. You know, Alabama has a lot of foresting trees, you know, pine cutting, you know, and you'll see a lot of logging trucks, and there's these metal cages on the back of the cab. Well, I don't know about you, but if I've got 10 or 15 tons of tree behind me, that little grate of aluminum is, and I've seen the outcome. I can assure you it does zero for that trucker. He is no longer with us, you know, without fail. So, I mean,
I used to insure a couple of logging companies.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know what they pay, but I'm sure it's outrageously high because it's a high risk.
It's a lot. It's a lot, yeah.
And it's how long were you in business before? I mean, I quit. I don't make it. I just tell people I quit because I lost faith in the system completely.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I went and delivered freaking mail. I mean, I didn't even want to do anything in the law. I didn't even want to be a clerk. I didn't want to do anything. And it took, you know, a year and a half just to. I pulled a ripcord. So I know what it did to me financially. How long did it take before you lost your business? And
I ran it for a total of 7 years before I finally gave it up because I was like, man, this is just too much. You know, because we had some really good years. If I had been able to put together 3 solid years unmolested by courtroom garbage,
right,
I'd be fine right now.
How much you said you think you spent 30? Were you talking about 30 a year? 30 grand or just total?
I was probably 35 all total.
That's not terrible for what you've been through.
That on top of I'm paying her child support every month. Plus,
well, let's get to your court order. You got smoked.
Oh yeah.
You got smoked.
Oh yeah.
I mean, bad. So what's your total damage in the end?
Judge says I owe her like 50, between the 2 lawyers and what I owe in healthcare and this thing, $50,000. and she I owe her $50,000, and she said it was not reasonable to withhold visitation.
I'm about to say something. You're not going to like what I say, and because it's going to make you more mad at the system. But unfortunately, and I've run into this even in another state, so it's not just there. Every state, well, it's called the American rule, and you can Google it. People can Google it. The American rule is basically, it's kind of like drag racing. You run what you brung, right? You pay your own way. You pay your lawyer. I pay my lawyer. Nobody gets attorney's fee. However, at least in Alabama, there is a little hook to allow the court to grant attorney's fees. Any other time, you're not going. I'm not going to say never. You're probably not. You'll get attorney's fees, but they'll come in the form usually of what's called a punitive award, right? You won't get where the jury comes back and goes, I want to give you your attorney's fees back. It's not going to happen. It's the American rule. You go to England, you'll get it. You'll get the common law doctrine, except in divorce court. And I don't know. There is a lot of rich people lawyers that's all they do. Like we just saw, that was all Crittenden did. I mean, I went through the list. It was just marital. It was all marital law. You know, it wasn't like the Flossie tax where that guy literally, I swear to God, he did everything, including admiralty. Wow. He claims to do admiralty. Wow. I'm pretty sure that guy doesn't do shit when it comes to anything other than being a scumbag. But whatever. And he can sue me all he wants. That's my personal opinion. He's not a very good person, but I mean, he's a typical lawyer. I mean, you just deal with it. It's like, that I hate it when they come to, you're dealing with them, you're trying to get something done, and all they ever do is just smile.
Yeah.
While they're sitting there just stabbing you in the back,
Mm-hmm.
They don't care. They don't care. So you're in for about 50 grand plus 30. So about 6 figures.
Yeah. Good luck coming to get that 50 because it doesn't exist.
What's the oh God, I hate to even say it. What's the repercussions if you don't pay or if you don't comply with the order?
Oh, of course they're going to throw me in jail.
What's the amount of days?
Oh, we're well past that.
No, I mean, how many days will you be missing in action?
Oh, I think 25.
I have literally never heard of a court except for criminal contempt actually giving a number of days. What made him do 25? What?
I don't know.
And she didn't. And she violated court orders constantly, and she didn't get anything.
Yeah, Chris, the psych eval that she wanted says she didn't follow the court orders. The psych eval that she wanted said my claims of parental alienation were partially validated. The psych eval that she wanted says I'm frank, forthright, and rational, and I'm a fit parent. The psych eval that she wanted says she fudged her results on the psych eval to make herself look better.
And got an what do they call it?
It's like an invalidated.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the term. They say it for lie detector tests, and I'm trying to not deceptive, but I know what you mean. Starts with the letter I. I can't think of the inconclusive or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like everything she's done is bullshit and lies and games and bullshit and lies and games and bullshit and lies and games.
And she's got away with it. And now you're looking at 25 days in the county. Damn. And 50 grand. Because I was shocked when I heard what the judgment would be, because I've been before him before.
Mm-hmm.
He's not one of the ones I wouldn't have. Everybody in Jefferson County that's in that damn courthouse in both circuits suck. They just suck. They are horrible. I know lawyers that literally I went to school with to this day, because I know I called them and asked if I can hire them. They won't touch Jefferson County with a 10-foot pole.
Well, the reason, I think part of the reason is, and it's started to get political now because the people know who I am. People know who my friends are, and we have started speaking out about the issues in the legal system, and they are trying their damnedest to shut us up and keep.
What are you doing to try to change it?
Try and change
system. I mean, because at the end of the day, the only thing that fixes any of this, and it's so big because we could take up 10 episodes, 10 hours.
Oh, yeah.
And we probably might touch 30-40%. Maybe.
We're talking to everyone we can. We're filing complaints every time they're appropriate. We are doing stuff.
It ain't gonna work with the bar.
Oh no, it's never gonna work with the bar. The bar straight up said they don't investigate lawyers unless a judge says they did something wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I've even filed a complaint on a lawyer and it got booted.
Yeah.
I mean,
the bar's not doing their job. The JIC's not doing their job. The Council of Judiciary is not doing their job. Nobody's doing their job. Nobody's doing their job.
Well, I mean, the state Senate has oversight. In the end, they can impeach and remove, or the House, and then just like U.S. Constitution, they can remove judges.
Why do they give a rip about my kids? They're just
That's exactly the point. They don't give a shit. I come back to the problem of it's not my problem.
Yeah,
that's a you problem.
Exactly.
Until it is their problem, and then it's oh shit, I'm in deep.
And that's why we're trying to make it their problem. That's why these lawyers are getting sued in federal court.
It is their problem. They shouldn't be. God, I mean, when I started, I didn't go into the practice of law thinking, oh, there's some honorable institution. No, there's a reason why Shakespeare coined, if you kill all the lawyers, There's a reason why I think that goes back to like 1600. So it's not like it's a new problem.
Right.
It's just become, I'll tell you this. Let me give an example. This is how it worked in Tennessee, because I was looking at their bar rules, etc., in the 1920s, up until about, I think, in the 40s, somewhere in there. Alabama didn't even have a bar exam, believe it or not, up until, I don't know, I think the 60s. If you went to UA and graduated law school, you were done. You were a lawyer. You had a bar membership. Tennessee, you challenged it orally. I mean, you could have just 2 years of law school. It was it. And you came back to your little jurisdiction, and the presiding judge was the guy that literally, that's how you passed the bar. It was a bar on the floor. It was I don't want to say processional. It's not the word. It was pomp and circumstance. That's what you did. It's like when you see the lawyers go past the little doors, that swing, that's the bar.
Right.
But that's how it used to be. And now it's become this statutory monster, which I'm not even sure I agree with having a bar exam. I get that we want to have some kind of a measuring stick, but that's kind of what the school's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
D is for diploma, but that's the point. Is you got a law degree, you should know something.
Right.
The bar does nothing except that you can take an exam and pass it, and you're good at it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all it does. It teaches you not a damn thing about it. You come out. I'm telling you, the first time I went to court, I sat there and was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I just looked. I didn't do anything. I didn't get appointed. Thank God I didn't get appointed to anything, because I'd have been like, I don't know what I'm doing. And you've got older attorneys that literally kind of tell you what. I mean, it's called practicing law for a reason. You learn. Yeah. Medicine's the same way. Yeah, you come out and you hopefully know what you're doing. But I think the problem is that the bar has become this statutory monster it has to exist for its own benefit to some degree. It's like, I could care less if they killed it. I just don't care. It doesn't, and it pisses them off how could you say that? We have no way. With no way to verify somebody's fit. We don't have a way to verify their fit now. They do a background check. You meet, if there's an issue, you meet with, like I did. You have to meet with, the board, disciplinary board, which is, it's for, fitness, character and fitness. The character and fitness committee. That is your, other than the disciplinary side of the state bar, that is it. And at the end of the day, just so people know, the end of the day, the Supreme Court is responsible for all disciplinary. All of this comes from the statute, and it all derives from the authority of the Supreme Court. They are the ones that sign all the damn orders. And all they do is just stamp what the bar does. If the bar says, I don't know, suspension for 90 days, because if you do 91, then you have to petition the bar to get your license back. Otherwise, it's an automatic reinstatement. And then the Supreme Court has to come back and, stamp it again. That's all they do is rubber stamp everything, And I've got Disbarment Monthly, Alabama lawyer right here. We call it Disbarment Monthly. And I can go through, oh, look, I went to page 366. There's no way there's 366 damn pages in this. Disbarments. Oh, look, Montgomery attorney Brian Mann was disbarred from the practice of law in the state of Alabama by order of the Supreme Court, effective July 3rd, 2024. Court entered its order based on the disciplinary board's order accepting Mann's consent to disbarment, which is based upon formal charges alleging that he had mishandled and or misappropriated client and third-party funds. That is literally what you're going to see almost all the time. Yeah. Or they didn't do CLEs. Oh, this one got a Birmingham attorney, Henry Pinnock, was suspended for 180 days. What did he do? Oh, Jesus, that's a lot. This is like, oh, my God. Holy crap. Rules 1.1, competence. Oh, that's never good. 1.3, diligence. 1.4, communication, lack thereof. 8.1, bar admission and disciplinary matters. I've never heard of that one. Misconduct. Damn, he was hired by the adult child of a decedent to probate The decedent's last will and testament that had been prepared by him. The will is admitted to probate. I'm reading this so that people know what the hell happens when you have a disciplinary issue. This is what you get. It's published, and it sometimes in the paper. He was admitted to the will was admitted to probate. Let's see. The adult child appointed as personal representative. I love how the adult child. I love the terminology for that. I hate that area of law. Oh, I hate it. It's so bad. That's the way to get disbarred. And this guy's proof. Pennick failed to communicate with the personal representative, failed to complete task. He agreed, closing the estate. Ooh, that's not good. Also failed to respond to local grievance committee, which I've never heard of. Investigating the complaint, he was found guilty of. I mean, he's fucked.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, I mean, there's only one more. Usually, it's for commingling of funds in your trust account. That's usually what'll get you nailed. Always. They are like, oh my God, that matters. But if you screw with somebody's kids or do what you've been through, where you're just milking the system, the udder of the system, man, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. And it sucks, man, because you see it and there's nothing you can do. The client's like, hey, man, I'm paying you. It's like, dude, there's nothing I can. Literally, I'm telling you, there's nothing I can do. Bend over, take it. You're about to get it. And it sucks. Oh, yeah. You know, and it's the lawyer that you have, even at the time, it's like no matter how bad they want to help, they're limited.
Well, look, as long as a judge will say there's no contempt if mom lies on the witness stand and everybody knows it, that's the problem. She said it's not reasonable for her to withhold visitation. She said my kid was fine with visitation until she got it suspended. I think the judge is just embarrassed that he got duped and that somebody played a game in his courtroom. And
that's when you throw her in jail. If I'd have been the judge, I'd be like, all right, you duped me. You duped me. Now I'm mad. Yeah. Now I'm going to put you in. I'm going to get it. Getting a criminal contempt is more. Again, we're back to the wide berth that the court has, and one of the wide berths is contempt. If you do it in court, everybody. If I sit there and go, "Screw you, judge," to his face, that's a criminal direct contempt. I mean, you're smoked.
Yeah.
And a lot of this stuff is indirect contempt. You barely get a hearing. Most people don't even have the money to hire the lawyer. They come in, boom, it's a contempt charge. You've got 10 days to comply or you're going to jail. And the guy just comes out and he's like, because it's coming, I'm telling you, for both of us. I'm telling you, it comes I've already had mine. I've already had the arrest warrant, and it's like, because she comes back with the bullshit of, well, you owe medical. Like, medical? What the hell are you talking about? No. I'm not 10 years later. No, but that's what the judge is dumb enough to go. She literally believed that I drove. This is a quote. I can't make this shit up. I drove down the road as I drove off. I took the papers and threw them out the window. And I'm thinking, I mean, I'm cross-examining. I'm like, there's no way she just said that.
Yeah,
that did not just come out of her mouth. And the judge still was like, yeah, and I know that she didn't even write her own order. It was my ex's attorney that wrote that. Again, they do these pre-prepared orders, and it's a proposal, and you submit it to the court, and I guarantee you what happened in your case. That judge, Boston, didn't write a damn word of that.
He copied and pasted straight from.
No, he didn't even do that. He took it out of Word because it comes in as a Word doc when you submit it on Alifile. At least now, used to be real sketchy that you had to email it, which is a no-no. That's ex parte. But anyway, you submit it. Alabama has the best electronic filing system in the states, believe it or not. It's fantastic. And they just take it and select all and copy. That's it. Yep. If that, they may just print it and sign it. I don't know. It just depends. And that's it. Yeah, that's what they do. So, well, I know it's getting late. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it, man. If you could, if you can, the purpose besides shining a light on it, like, and hopefully scaring things away, or at least making a move away from the light, or let me use the analogy of fire, because it tends to. I had a friend of mine he's an attorney where I live now, and he's his quote is always, "Fire cleanses everything," and it does.
Yeah.
You know, and in this instance, it's like that's the only thing we've got is this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Brandon's been through it. This, oh my God! Did you read? Let me put this up here. Did you read what this dude Brooklyn put up here?
I didn't.
Holy crap! This is insane. I'll post it on here. Hang on. Let me see if I can find it. And that's text. This is total. He's got 4, and he's saying that's extra. Now, this is what's going to blow your mind. Here we go. This is their age.
Wow.
Oh, it's better. I mean, they should be married. And I wanted to ask him, I mean, the only way to do that is if your child is like, and they better be getting Social Security for mental retardation. Literally.
Yeah.
That's because they luckily in 2013 there was a court case because the judges were doing this in Alabama, and the Supreme Court said no. Only way we're doing this, and I mean the only way, is if your child is retarded and has to have literally, they better have around the clock care, medical stuff, you know. But they were doing it, and so I mean, this poor guy in New York, which number one, I would get the hell out of New York. I wouldn't be there. I mean, she just keep adjusting it, and the amounts change again and again. And I don't know how that, like, it blows my mind. So, I mean, we're not the only ones, you know, but my point, what I was going to get to is I wanted to do this not only to shine a light on things and have as many people as I can just please talk, because a lawyer can do it all day long, and it's just a damn lawyer. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. All right. We're no better. I put my pants on the same way. You know, I go to the bathroom the same way as everybody else. Nothing changes. Although I know that judges think they do. You know, there's only one Donald Trump and one gold toilet.
Right.
Okay? And exactly. He's got it. All right. Yeah. So pretty sure. So, you know, I'd like you, if you could, one more time, if you can find your documents.
Oh, of course, man.
Because people don't know, like I can say court order. I can say Rule Nisi. We can say whatever we want. If they haven't been through it, they don't know what it looks like. Mm-hmm. And so that was another thing, is I wanted to be able to explain things to people of what is the system, you know, how does it work?
It doesn't.
No, it does. A lot of the times it does not. You know,
cool. Yeah, I'll pull some stuff together. We can go through it.
Cool. I'll probably do mine too, because I don't care.
Right.
I just don't care. You know, okay, take me to the bar. It's my case. You know, I don't. It's kind of like, you know, when I had a district court judge where I'm at now, and I've got legal custody from another state, so they have to honor it. I just hadn't filed it, and he says, "You don't have the right to talk about what your kid's, you know, been arrested for." And I'm like, "You? Yes, I do. If I want to waive that, I have every legal right." He's like, "I don't think you do." I'm like, "I do." Mm-hmm. You know, my only option at that point was to fight him, go to the appellate court or go to circuit court, and then go from there and get him appealed, you know, mandamus him. And it's like, it's somewhat, screw it. Yeah. And the case is over now anyway, and he's still in prison, so it don't matter. I can say whatever the hell it was.
Right.
I can't, because I'm afraid YouTube will bounce the episode.
Yeah, you never know with them.
Yeah, I don't know. If we were on Rumble, I could say it. You know, he's a sex offender. I mean, it sucks, you know, but it is what it is. But the system is so broken, they make you even pay for them. That's what I was going to tell you, is that I had to pay for his therapy.
Wow.
For what he did. Yeah. Yeah. So I know what it's like. Unfortunately. So if I do practice again down there, it's not easy, because you see this stuff, and I mean, part of me wants to just punch the guy or girl in the mouth and take the charge. You know, it's like, I'll take the misdemeanor. It's all right. Because I mean, where I'm at now, until I get convicted, I don't lose my life. And in Alabama, I will say, if you get arrested, you're going to get suspended. You're done. You're getting a suspension. So they are pretty tight on that. So hopefully it's still that way. It was when I was still practicing. So all right, man. Well, I hope it's been cathartic. I hope it doesn't set you back psychologically having to go through all this bullshit.
No, man, it's all day, every day for me.
I know it is. And it's not, it's like every day. Can it just end? How old's your oldest kid? How old's your youngest?
Yeah, my youngest is 12. He'll be 13 this year.
Oh shit! You still got 6 years.
He's been in this since he was 7.
Damn.
Like 7, 8 years old. Like, and I'm like, just get over yourself already. Yeah. Get over yourself already. Mom, get over yourself already.
She's not gonna.
No, she's not
gonna. What the hell did I just do?
She doesn't give a shit. She really doesn't.
And it's sad, man. And I'm sorry that you're having to go through it. And
well,
there's nothing anybody can do. That's what sucks.
Yeah.
And Brandon's comment. I mean, the kids are not going to trust an adult. Why would they?
No. Yeah. Why would they?
I don't see a reason why.
Why would they ever trust their government? Why would they ever trust a lawyer? Why would they ever trust anybody? They shouldn't.
This is what happens when I see parents getting, thrown in jail for even when the child support's bad. Let's just say, right, it's years behind. Yeah, but dad's still in the picture, and now you're throwing him in jail. The kid's going to grow up resentful.
Exactly.
They're not going to go, well, dad just didn't want to take care of me. It's a kid. They're going to defend, my daughter somehow still defends her mother, doing what all she's done. And I can't even reach out to her because of the Alabama statutes on harassing communications, because I got the text, don't text me. Now, she might have meant temporarily. Can't risk it. You can't do it.
Yeah. So someone like that will screw you just to screw you.
Yeah. And that's probably what's going to happen if you're not very careful. That's what will happen with you if you're not careful, man.
Yeah. That's one thing. Again, Kendra Beauchamp, because every therapist, while and especially, like, I've got a friend who's a child psychiatrist, psychologist. I don't remember which one. But he knows me really well. He's been through the situation and he deals with this stuff. And he's like, man, what you got to do is just do what you can to stay in their lives. Just text them every once in a while. Say, hey, love you. Hey, thinking about you. Mom taught my children, literally taught them to say, don't text me, so that the GAL could tell the judge that I'm harassing my kids.
Right.
When I'm literally doing what therapists told me to do. And so that's why, GAL, Kendra Beauchamp, she's a sicko. I mean, she's a really sick person.
The videos are just, they're creepy.
Yeah.
I get it. That maybe she thought it was funny or whatever, but I mean, dude, it's just, I don't know, man. It's bizarre. I don't get it. I would never do it. I'm not going to sit there and post shit like that. This is bad enough, but I'm not in active practice. So, it'll always be there. I know that. I don't care because I'm not lying about anything. I'm not telling anything that's, a miscarriage of the truth or anything. That's creepy. Those videos are freaking creepy. The chick needs to quit. I mean, she just don't need to post it. That's stupid. Yeah. I mean, because you are an attorney. You're an officer of the court. It's supposed to mean something.
At least pretend like you're due the honor and respect that you demand of people.
That's correct.
Like, don't act like a clown and then be like, I'm a lawyer. You need to respect me.
Right. Yeah. or somehow the rules change for the lawyer compared to the plebe.
Exactly.
And it's I never. Maybe that's why I wasn't more wealthy or something. I don't know. With the practices, I just couldn't lie to clients.
If you're not a straight up dirt bag, you're not going to make any money as a lawyer.
Nope. You really aren't. People, I laugh all the time when they're like, "I'm gonna be a lawyer." I'm like, "You're an idiot."
Yeah.
Don't. What's your best advice? Don't.
Right.
Don't go to medical school. And I'm sure doctors would have the exact same. I am sure of it because I've talked with them. I don't know that any job has 100% success or happiness rate, but I can tell you in law, I mean, this shit, it weighs on you. I mean, at night it weighs on you. Especially when you've tried to defend someone, or maybe they've either gone to prison. They're guilty, but maybe not to the degree that the state got. Or somebody you lose. Alabama, thankfully, you never had to go through it. It's a DNA, but not that DNA. It's called dependency, neglect, and abuse. And where the state takes your kid, and those are rough. They're really, really rough. And you have times where it's like, okay, is this really valid? And unfortunately for my clients, they sucked. My clients sucked. And there was times where I was like, score. Yes, the kid's not going to go home with them. I can't say that to them, but it's like, I know that kid's not in a good. That kid does not need to go home with either person. They both suck.
Yeah.
And thankfully the state, won their dependency case in that. But all right, man. Well, we'll Brooklyn's still not. Whatever he's got computer issues.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, we'll try to meet up again, and because we've been going like about an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 40 minutes. Pretty good. It's not bad. I don't know how these people. Some of these damn what do they call them? Wall tubers. They have like 6 and 7 hour streams. I'm like, what the?
Wow.
Like, look, man. I had oh God, I'm gonna have a PTSD moment during COVID. I don't even like to say the word, but I had all that Zoom court bullshit. It's horrible. And they had a judge that I am convinced I would be shocked. I would not be shocked if I found out she had a catheter and a colostomy bag. Because she would, I had a prosecutor text me one night. I went to bed. I was on until 9 p.m. one night. And I woke up the next morning and had a text that said, some smart ass comment to me. He had a picture of his computer screen. It said 12:01 a.m. And the woman, when I went to bed, we had been on since 8, and she never left the bench.
Wow.
So where is it going? Like, there's no way she has that big a bladder. No food, and that's common where I practice at. Most recently, it's like, dude, when's lunch? In Alabama, it's like supper time.
Mm-hmm.
We're done. We're going, see you in a couple hours or an hour or whatever. And at 4:30, we're definitely done. Not where I last practiced. Shit. You never got lunch. You were it. So, but anyway, I'm glad we got to at least do this. I hope we covered. It's hard to do it, man. You've got a horrible case, and it's a lot of shit to cover. And I don't take notes, and I damn well, because this ain't a job. And I definitely don't do a roadmap, to things to cover. I really wanted you to just talk.
Sure.
And I hope I hope there's something in it for you that makes you feel better. And I hope at the end, man, I hope you win. I know that it's probably not going to be a win like you think for none of us,
if it helps somebody else get through it, or if it encourages someone who's thinking about doing this, not do this to their kids. Like, I think it would be, that's all I can hope for at this point.
Yeah. I'm the same way. Yeah. That's how I feel. All right, brother, be good. Try to get some sleep.
Will do, man.
All right. Thanks, guys. Like, subscribe, share, etc. Comment. We'll see y'all later. Thanks. Bye.
See you, Chris.
Man. See ya.